Today we're about to uncover a secret. She's going to be Jim's mysterious girlfriend, just waiting to give him a close encounter. Subtitle: Jim stood there stunned, with his eyebrows nearly soaring up to the sky, while Lisa kept on delivering her lecture. Remember, don't behave as if you're truly at home in the bedroom. Otherwise they won't be willing to clean up the mess afterwards. Just when Jim reached the prison door, she suddenly had second thoughts. Facing those weird inmates, she feared she'd get stuck here forever. The police's only plan was like opening Pandora's box, and who knows how many more problems would come out. Remember everything she does, said the officer, just as curious as you and me. And after a moment's hesitation, Jim decided to take the plunge. First order of business, check the back door, which might be her first time being this upfront with a man in her life. You can imagine, this life won't be easy. She is to complete her mission while facing a bunch of weirdos. She carefully observed the group of people, but her target was still not showing up. Meanwhile, Larry was fixing machines in the boiler room. She might be a bit off, but she was a competent mechanic. Jim was sitting anxiously in her cell, having yet to lay eyes on Larry. Late at night, Larry finally returned, and Jim sprang into action as soon as she heard the noise. She knew a new neighbor had moved in across from her, and the chess game was officially on. The doctor warned Jim that the walls housed little angels of madness who could snap at any moment. The last tenant ended it all here due to self-harm tendencies, and rumor has it that bloodstains still linger on the floor. So, Jim had to take her meds on time like everyone else to avoid raising any suspicions. Before wrapping up, Jim hurriedly asked her to contact the warden in case of any major issues, and the doctor handed her a phone number. She strived to memorize the number, hoping to use it to navigate the perils of prison life. Jim was escorted by Officer Carter to the reception room, ready to face an unexpected visitor, and guess who it was? Her dad. Had quit his job as a cop just to sneak in and see his son, leaving Jim completely shocked. Little did Dad know, she had complicated things to no end. With her family ties, it was time for a serious talk. Ironically, Jim reassured Dad, claiming she'd handle everything and walk out of here. After the visit, Jim asked Carter to keep it under wraps, a small request that seemed inconsequential. Carter smiled, said fine, and noted an old man in prison was keen on her. Subtitles: This big shot might become Jim's patron, and all she needs is to say she knows him. Jim charmed her way into the old man's good graces, while Carter played the director, watching from above. Jim followed Larry to watch TV, only to unexpectedly encounter a hot-headed guy. The guy simply switched the channel, leaving Larry with no other option but to back down and offer an apology. Subtitles: Jim realized that her opportunity had arrived, and she bravely stepped forward to switch the channel back, exclaiming, "This is the one. You'd better prepare to meet your maker." Soon the guy got pounded like a punching bag, while Jim was dragged away by the guards and tossed into solitary. However, Jim knew it was all worth it. Sure enough, the next day Larry struck up a conversation. Her strategy was paying off. Larry even asked why she stood up for them. Now that was interesting. The two began their first genuine conversation, but little did they know, someone was about to interrupt. Subtitles: Carter found Jim, hinting in his words that he had already known Jim was an undercover and planned to gain some benefits from it. Don't make a mess of this. I'd rather not be the star of a soap opera. Turns out, he uncovered Jim's big business in Chicago and threw two choices at her. 1. Cough up 10 grand. Or 2. Be ripped apart by the inmates. Jim had no alternative but to agree, and plus, her dad said they'd wasted a huge amount of cash. Just before her arrest, she'd stashed away 80 grand with Dad, and now it was all gone. What a bummer. Now she had to spill the beans to Dad, looking for hidden valuables in her speakers. She needed Dad to bring the goodies, then she'd have to figure out how to cash him while behind bars so complicated. Dad confidently promised he wouldn't mess it up, but Jim couldn't help but doubt. Subtitles. Back in the cell, Jim had a conversation with Larry, who then started to trust her and talked about his past experiences. Larry inquired why she was so nice, suggesting they didn't need to be heart to heart. "Good night, Larry." Jim's reply seemed to spark Larry's longing for friendship. The two began chatting often, gradually bridging the gap between their hearts. Just as they were getting into a deep conversation, 2 officers approached, and Larry was called away for a counseling session. Seizing the opportunity, Carter reminded Jim she had to show him that 10 grand within the next 2 days. Meanwhile, Larry was talking about Jim with his therapist, feeling like he'd made a new friend. Jim looked him straight in the eye while talking, rather than staring through him, which made him feel at ease.